we brought it up because we could solve it fast. But the most important solution I could give you to the heat equation would be the one that starts from that point source of heat, but on the whole line. The one that would be integrals instead of sums. Yeah. So we came pretty close to solving the most important heat equation problem, but we're doing the periodic case with just cosines, and the infinite line case would be the most famous of all. Yeah, and it has a beautiful form. And I was going to say that so the heat equation is pretty classical, but let's see, where can I write the magic words? Black skulls. Yeah, next to the heat equation. So that's the heat equation, but it's also, do you know these names, Black and Scholes? Anybody in mathematics of finance? So these much despised derivative options. So people on Wall Street, traders, will carry around a little calculator that solves the Black-Scholes equation, so they can price the options that they're bidding to buy and sell, so they can price them fast. And that little calculator does finite differences or a Fourier series solution to this Black-Scholes equation, which actually, if we change variables on it, is the heat equation. So that what you see here is actually important on Wall Street, except it's probably not the right moment to mention it, right? Because these, so you could blame the whole meltdown on mathematicians, but that wouldn't be entirely fair. They didn't mean it anyway, but that's been the biggest source of employment, I guess, apart from teaching in the last 10 years. People who could work out the partial differential equations, and they get more complicated than the heat equation, you can be sure. For what an option, so the classical one, these guys are economists at MIT and Harvard, or they were, and I guess maybe the Nobel Prize in economics came to part of that group, and also to Merton. Maybe possibly Black died before the time of the Nobel Prize. Anyway, they were the first, and it's a beautiful paper to figure out how do you price what's the value of an option to buy that allows you to buy or sell a stock at a later time. Yeah. So well, of course, you have to make assumptions on what's going to happen over that time, and that's where Wall Street came to grief, I guess. You could, if you had to put it in a nutshell. I mean, the options, the standard, straightforward options, those are fine using Black-Scholes, and then what's happened is they now price more and more complicated things, to the point that the banks were buying and selling credit default swaps, insurance swaps, that practically nobody understood what they were. It's just assumed that if there was always a market for them, like insurance, somehow it wouldn't happen and you'd get on. But it happened. So now we're in trouble.